The main reason I sort of called the meeting was because, like I said, GlaxoSmithKline Beecham, they crush all competition, right? They want to sell pharmaceutical drugs, so they go around, they have big board meetings in a mastermind group in a big oval table, and they work out, it's called a think tank. So they put like loads of heads together and they come up with solutions, and that's why they're always successful. And the competition crushing. And what's happening with us, like we're doing little bits here and there, but we're not doing it as a mastermind group. So what I want to do is get all the ideas solidly and put them together so they can mold together, merge, or whatever you want to call it, that we got like a mastermind group competition crushing. In other words, you can walk on the street and no one can touch you, no government thing can touch you. And I'm just going to explain what each of you three bring to the party, which is you, Carl, you, BB, and you, Delroy. And that's how it's affected me. Okay, so I met Carl many years ago, and he's helped me, you know, through a lot of stuff from when I was going through, and he's been helping me with a documentary and stuff like that. And he's been doing this, trying to get reclaim your birthright, which is to get up from under, get their foot off their neck, if you want to put it, sort of slavery
Sorry,
system.
Errol. Sorry, one sec. Do you know what the password is? Because there's other people trying to get in.
Yeah, it's on the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But if they're trying to get in, it would say admit, and then I would just admit them.
Okay, that's cool.
Right. Anyway, so basically, what I want to do is, so someone called Jay's trying to get in. Admit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jay, if you could just mute your mic for now.
That's Jack.
Okay. All right. So what I'll just explain. So Carl's been doing this, and what he's done, he's come up with a novel idea of incorporating himself. So you take your all caps name and you incorporate it. Now, that's a really good thing to bring to the party. Then also there's BB is now using the UCC codes and other things that she's using as well. And she's helped me to discharge, like, you know, when these extortioners were trying to come after me for money, she just looked at me and said, and I was amazed, she just said, they've already been paid, right? They ain't getting no more money off you. And that was it. And they just went away, just like that. And then now Delroy, he does trusts and he does all other kinds of stuff. And one thing he's really expert on is something called, it's called the UPU, which is the Universal Postal Union, right? And that is amazing. Now, like somebody writes to you, right? The Universal Postal Union governs all the countries. It's in Bern, Switzerland. Now, there's certain laws and regulations that they've got to follow, and they don't. They sent you frank mail. That's mail fraud. They don't say who it's from. There's certain rules and regulations that they have to abide by. And when you open that letter, you contract with them unknowingly, and then you mess yourself up. Now, what I've been doing since he's taught me this UPU is James, if you can just mute your mic when you get in. Okay, James, if you just mute your mic when you get in. Cheers, thanks. So, So, as I was saying, with this UPU, if somebody sends you a letter, it's always going to be franked because they're committing mail fraud, because they can't write to you as a genuine living man. They can't do that. So what you do, you send it back to them. Well, you don't send the letter back to them, actually, because you're not contracting with them. You report them to the Postmaster General. And Delroy's geniusly found out who the Postmaster General is, because they tried to hide it. And so you send all the mail to the Postmaster General, and you don't have to pay for mail neither. BB taught me that as well. Okay, you don't pay for mail; it's free. You report them for mail fraud. Then you send if they have a franked address, return address, you send them a warning that they've committed mail fraud. Okay. And for bailiffs and stuff like that, this works a treat, because they don't want to mess with you after that. They just leave you alone. Solicitors, people like that, they just leave you alone. Simple as that. So that, and Delroy's got a few things. I'm not sure when he's going to be. His mic's muted at the moment, but he can talk on that when he's on. So what I'd like to do, I suppose, is just get Carl to quickly to explain his concept about the corporation, and then BB to explain the UCC and different bits, whatever she wants to explain, and then hopefully Delroy will be ready, and then he can explain what he can explain, and we can sort of arrange another mastermind meeting to work out plans of how we can merge all this together and make it into like I say, a competition crushing consortium, as you were, because they're a corporation, so we can be a bigger and badder corporation. Carl?
Well, what I was going to say here is basically everything what you lot are doing, right? You're all doing it under the birth certificate. That's the thing about it. So everything you're doing is irrelevant. I'll tell you that now, it's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant in the way that it doesn't need to be done. It's irrelevant in the way that these are your public servants and they will do it for you. That's the thing about it. This is what people are missing. Again, as I said, I mean, like, as Errol said, yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years, but I haven't. I've been doing it for 25 years. Errol met me 15 years ago. Yeah? But what I'm saying is that what's actually happening is that, as Errol explained, we've all been given a corporation at birth. Now, all I've done basically is claim the corporation, because in law, legal and law, contracts can only be done between two of the same kind, an artificial legal person and an artificial legal person, or a sentient man and woman or a sentient man and woman, but you can never have a mixture of the two. So if they have to write your name in capital letters, basically, to create a contract with you, because they're saying that you're a corporation, and all corporations come in a capital letter name. So basically what you do, what I've done basically in 2015, I bought myself as the corporation. From that day in September 2015, there has not been no contracts, because I made the company dormant. So once you do that, nobody can write to you. And if they do write to you, you can sue them for intellectual property right without permission. Any questions?
No, I'm agreeing with Carl. We just do exactly what he does. We just use trust. That's it. You're doing exactly what you do. We just use trust. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Not a problem with what you're doing. Spot on. We do the intellectual property thing. My friend had to do it a while ago because somebody had their companies operating pseudo, which were worth quite a lot of money. And we're talking like 6 figures. And obviously he wanted to protect them. Now, he already had his own trust, so what we did was we did exactly what you've just done. Did the copyright, intellectual property, and the trademark, did all that for his corporations, put it all in trust, and yeah, pretty much what you're saying, and we just lock them off for breach of intellectual property, for breach of any trademark breaches. This guy's spot on, exactly what we're doing. We just use trusts.
Okay.
That's the difference, but yeah, spot on.
Can I just add? The thing about it, what you guys are saying, right? I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just going to add to it. Now, the thing about it, what Dale's just saying there about the trust, yeah? The thing about it, your company is the trust. Because the thing about it, all the trust you're doing is still under a birth certificate. That's the thing about it. I'm not saying it's wrong, don't get me wrong, because every way what all of us have been doing is correct. But the thing about it, by the time, because when you take full title, because you're claiming the full title deed, that's the full title deed of your name, basically. So nobody can do anything without that. Other than that, everything else everybody's doing is under the birth certificate or the passport or the driving license. Because if you go in anywhere and they ask you for identification, that's one of the identifications you're going to give them. But you don't own that identification.
That's right, it's Crown copyright.
There you go.
225 years, we've got it, I've got it. So we've done exactly what you've done, we've just used trust, because I won't stand short, we don't stand for short for that legal fiction, because it's Crown copyright, so we won't do that. So because they're presuming that you're the corporation, like, no, you can't, public and private don't mix. You're right, public and private do not mix at all, whatsoever. So there's a presumption that you're stood short for this legal fiction, which you've had with through the national insurance number, through all these taxes. So we're like, no, that bullshit. That's what it says to caveat. We're not doing that. So the title, which is the equitable title, which is the fiction, that is given to the trust, it's gifted to the trust, and that the trust does the interfacing against any of these corporations, because what they're doing is they're assuming that you're the corporation, which you obviously you're not. They're assuming you're a corporation, and they can trace you. Now, you can't have public and private don't mix. You can't have you being the legal fiction, and therefore you can't use that. So the reason why we put the trust into place, because the trust protects the asset. With exactly what you've just done, but the trust protects the asset. But then they can't presume that we're still short. And the reason why we do this as well is because with the intellectual property and the trademarking, the reason why we also do this is because trusts can only be taken to court, not through magistrates. They can only be taken to chancery. So we cut out all the magistrates, because that's where all the bollocks goes underneath, is at the county magistrates court. That's where all the nonsense goes on. Whereas trust in trust law, chance can only take it to chancery. So if any corporation writes to you and tries to do business, not only do you do for the intellectual property, but they can't then get the police to enforce any nonsense on you, because they're coming after illegal fiction. Well, it's not owned by us, it's owned by the trust. You can write to the trustees, not a problem, but they can't stand you short for it. Cuts the police out, and it stops the police forcing you into magistrates court and into his county court to stand you short to draw charges off your estate. Whole thing's a cock and fraud.
Yeah, so this is why I called the meeting, because see, putting everything together, we're going to come up with the ultimate solution. You see, merging all these things together, I think is going to make a big difference. I also want to bring Bibi in on this, because I actually applied for the UCC, and I got sent back my UCC. I bought my UCC name or whatever entity, and it's very tricky what they use. They say that the debtor is a what is it, Bibi, a transmitting utility?
No,
Bibi?
the debtor is the debtor, but the debtor. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear? Okay. The debtor is the debtor. You can't go away from that. It's in all block letters, your name. Now, what they do is they would use that block letters for everything that you own on earth. From the time you were born, it was made, and your national insurance number attached to it from birth. Now, we are the creditors. We're the one who produce the money. We're the one who keep them alive. If you take back the debtor and owns it, because the law now, universal, is the UCC. It is not no law or nothing legal. It's just under that number. UCC and your straw man. Now, they cannot interact with you because they're corporations, so they made you into a corporation through your all block letters name. Very simple. They made a remedy for people to take that name back, but they never told you. So now that we know, we have to take our name back, and we have to let them know. And that's the paperwork I do. We do power of attorney. In fact, the straw man gives you power of attorney. In fact, I have all the paperwork. They give you a whole harmless and indemnity agreement, indemnify you against everything the straw man is under. A copyright, a 3-page copyright in detail, telling you that if you use my name to make money, I am going to take you on a non-judicial foreclosure. You do not have to take them to court. That is their law. You don't have to inform no one. Okay?
Also, Bibi, I wanted you to tell them quickly about that they weren't allowed to use your name. Do you remember?
Yes. Yes. Okay, they're not allowed to use your name. Once you file your paperwork and it comes back from the Secretary of State, the main head office for corporations is in Washington, D.C., because America don't have a government, they have a corporation. And that's 14 square miles of Washington, D.C. They have 52 states that's subsidiaries for this corporation, which is called states, and then they have 52 republics, which is under that they put to sleep. Now, if you file your UCC1 financing statement, is your remedy. Once that statement goes in, they give you a number. That number is used. You inform people they cannot use your name. It's copyright once you've done that. Once it's copyright, and if they use it, there's something called a procedure for opting out of consensual contract. When you send them that, you give them 5 days to stop using it. If they don't, then there's a proper invoice made through the UCC, which you can send them. You name the date they use it. You name how much your copyright says. Every time they use it, $1 million, £1 million pounds, whatever. Then you total it up on the invoice, and you send it to them. You have 10 days to pay it. If they don't pay it, then you can do a UCC1 financing statement on them. Send the invoice to the state office, and you send all the information that you inform them not to use your copyright, and you can automatically get a non-judicial foreclosure on them. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're allowed to go and put their property on auction. It will be all on record. And let me tell you, they do know not to use your name.
Of course, they know that.
Because I have done it before. I have done it in the States as well when they were trying to deport me. And I sent a 9-page security agreement to the judge. When he receives it, he deported me under somebody else's name. Yes. I don't know whose name.
Yes.
Okay? So he knew what I was doing. They got me out of the country the same day. Normally they take you to another place and they kept you for 6 months, whatever. But they send me back to London the same day. So it does work. It's 2 judges that have tried on it, and it does work. So this is my idea of if everyone could take their straw man back, these multi-billion corporations have nothing to stand on. They're using that to make money. That's what they're making the money under your SISTI QV trust. It's a trust that was set up, and the corporation says, we are people of unsound minds and we don't know what to do, so they're taking care of our trust.
Yes.
So
concur. Certificate of the Act, I've got it. Yep, concur.
Yeah. So,
sorry?
like I said, sorry, go, Bibi.
Yeah, it's a very simple process. Once the straw man is giving you permission to own it, and the straw man is giving you permission for a non-corporate status, for a whole harmless and indemnity agreement, all these agreements come with the straw man. Once you have those and you have a problem, you just sit back and send it up. As far as I'm concerned, the water bill, light bill, all these companies, your SISTI QV Trust has built all these corporations, the highways, everything that they own belong to our straw man. billions everyone have in their strawman's account. And
Yeah,
once
that's
you can-
correct.
Yeah, once you can conquer the straw man and you can own it, it's yours and it's giving you permission to do all these things against summonses, judgments, all this kind of stuff, and you apply it, then you're okay. You don't have no, and if everybody knows about it, it's fine. At the moment, I have students from all over the world that I'm teaching online. Now, these students, they know what's happening, and they're getting very, very good success. There's a lot of students in Denmark is now opening a university, and they want me to go there 3 times a year to teach natural law. They know that it worked for them. The people in Australia, New Zealand, America, England. So the UCC is the thing. That is what we're sailing under. We have no law. We are lawless and we are military.
Can I just interject there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so what I was saying to you about, okay, by the way, we've just got Caroline just come into the place as well, right? Caroline, BB is the one who, you know, I put that video up with Sasha Stone. And that
Yes, I've met her before.
Yeah.
I met her before. I went to a meeting that she did in North London.
Okay,
I recognise the voice.
Cool. But basically what I'm saying is, okay, so you know that everything you're doing at the moment is via the birth certificate, yeah? Because you're working from the straw man, so you call it, yeah?
Yeah.
Straw man is men of straw, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah? You look in the legal dictionary, you tell you men of straw.
It's where it started.
Yeah. So basically, what it is, okay, let me show you something. I done it in 2015, as I said, I bought myself as a corporation, yeah? This is what I got through the post. I've got a black card.
Yeah,
I've got a black card already, yeah? But they offered me a black card just by buying my name as the corporation.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, you hold full title deed. There's no higher document than that. So you can run, and no disrespect to you, you can do the UCC, you can do this, you can set up trust, you can do all of this. The thing about it, all of that's done for you. Because once you take back the ownership of the title itself, the thing what happens is that you become sovereign, basically. You become the crown. So they are your public servants. That's why they had to get rid of you in that first day and send you back to London, because you wasn't in their jurisdiction. Because you're doing the things in the lawful way, which is correct. There's nothing wrong with what anybody's doing. I'm just saying to you that by the time you do this, you won't have to do anything.
Carl and Daryl Nukes.
Sorry, say that again, Errol.
Okay, well, you're sovereign at birth. From the time you're born, you are a sovereign.
Yes, I know that. But what I'm saying to you is that, okay, so who is the debtor?
You don't have to take your sovereign back.
Who is the
yours?
Yes, but who is the debtor?
Birth.
Who is the debtor on your birth certificate?
Hold on a second. One. Carl.
Yeah.
The birth certificate do not have a debtor. The birth certificate have your name written in all high case and lower case.
Do you know what?
It's not got block letters on your birth certificate.
What I'm saying to you is that how.
Hi.
What I'm saying is basically is there is a creditor and there's a debtor on your birth certificate. Did you know that?
Yes.
Carl?
No. Right.
No.
Right. So what I'm trying to tell you.
Not in mine.
Sorry?
Your birth certificate is written in all high case and lower case.
I'm not arguing with
That's what is written on. High case and
Bibi, what I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter if your name's in uppercase or lowercase or what, it doesn't matter. There's a debtor and there's a creditor on your birth certificate. Get used to that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah? The reason I say that is that, do you know that there's 2 date of births on your birth certificate? Do you know there's 2 names?
That's correct. Yeah, he's right. I've done it. I agree with Carl. It's right. There's one for when you're born, and then there's one that when you date registered. You spot on. Carl is right. I've researched this just as much. I've done what you've done, Carl. The only difference is.
Wait a minute, Dale. Because I hear you, Dale. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not cutting you off here. But I just want to let me just focus on right, Bibi.
Hmm.
What was your first name you was given when you was born?
Bibi,
No, it wasn't. What's your surname?
Bacchus.
Right. That was the first name you was given when you was born. Because they had to recognize what family you belong to. So when you was put in the ward, you had a little wristband on and it said the surname on it. That was the first name you was given. That's the debtor's name. So any debts coming through your family, you would pick it up for them. Now, 2 months later, if you look on your birth certificate, you've got a registration date. That's when the Christian name was registered. That's Christ. That's the Christian. That's the creditor. Your surname is the debtor. So even though your whole name's on your birth certificate, they've made that whole name the debtor.
Oh.
Do you know what the original birth certificate is?
Oh. Oh.
I only saw the one that was registered,
Right.
which I have.
So what I'm saying to you, okay, so you know about the birth certificate. Right, let me tell you this. The original document, what was created for you at birth, was the birth notification form. It took me 10 years to find that form, and I found it. It's the birth notification form, the BNF01.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you want to say something there?
Bibi, are you there? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
You're coming through fine, Errol.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to mute all the other people except there's a lot of background noise, so I'm trying to mute.
That's cool. That's cool.
But Bibi's fine. Bibi, you there? Microphone's on.
Yeah. Basically, what I was saying anyway, I mean, like if Bibi can hear anyway, basically the birth notification form is the original document what created the birth certificate in the first place.
Yep, this is what we found out in the mother's records. We found all this stuff happened with your cow. That's what we found out. It's in the mother's records. My friend Amanda, we had to go for all the hospital stuffers, and she's got hers. She got hers, and it's in the mother's records. She's got hers as well. You got that first thing first because we went to the hospital because that's when the event took place. You've got that one first, and then the legal title was created, and then you get the equitable one. So the first one is the birth notification, and the Amanda found hers in the mother's records, and the hospital they fought her hard. They fought hard. They didn't want her to see anything. She had to fight hard to get that stuff. It took her, like you, it took her years to get hold of those records.
Right. So what I'm asking you now, if you know about the birth notification form, Dale, right? Why? How is the name on the birth certificate created?
It's not. They've notified them.
No. But on the birth notification form, if you know about the birth notification form, what have they done from the birth notification form and put on your birth certificate?
I need to look at it again to ring it. I need to get hold of it and look at it again because it's something specific that they've done. I know for a fact they've changed the case, and the numbers are on it are different. I know that, but it's something else that you're getting at, and it's gonna have to come off top of my head.
Okay, let me tell you. Don't go, sir. Let me tell you. Right, on the birth notification form, at the top, you've got your forenames. Underneath,
that's right.
You've got the surname. It's illegal. It's illegal for them to take both them names from two different jurisdictions of space and put them together as one. That's illegal, first of all. That's what they've done, basically. So your forenames, yeah, and the thing about it, your forename is written in the word forename is written in capital letters. Do you understand about the capital letter language?
I do. I don't know if Bibi does, but I know about the capital letters.
I don't know if Bibi's on. I can't see her on here.
No,
let me try and get her back.
Gone.
Chris.
Yeah, I do. It's the Capitis Maxima. I know Carl, obviously Carl does because he's not mentioning it.
It's not. No, forget Capitis Maxima. I'm asking you what is the language. I'm not asking you what is.
Oh, it's American Sign Language. It ain't in English.
There you go. So
I've got the manual styles. I've got them all. I've got the Oxford manual styles. I've got the English manual styles, and I've got the Chicago manual. I've got them all.
That's cool. Energy. Yeah. So yeah, you understand about the Chicago Manual of Style, Romley Stewart, yeah?
Yeah. I know them guys. I know my friend knows them well. I spoke to him a while ago.
That's cool. That's cool if you know them or not. That's cool. What I'm saying though is like, okay, so you understand the language. Now
Yes.
the thing about it, on your birth notification form, they write the forename, which is American Sign Language, as you know. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's written in capitals. All the stuff is written in capitals. So the language doesn't really exist.
No.
Now the thing about it, have you looked for the word forename in the legal dictionary? Because it's not there. Forename in the legal dictionary is not there. It's called a praenomen, but they spell it presnomen, which is P-R-Z-E, nomen, N-O-M-E-N. Yeah, they try and change the spelling as well, so you can't find it. And that's in Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, up to the 8th edition. So the forename doesn't even, it's not a word.
Yeah.
So basically what they're doing, they're writing certain words down in the legal dictionary and they're putting these words on the forms, allowing us to read that and agree with that.
Yeah, even though it's not there.
There you go. So how can we have a forename if forename written in sign language isn't even in existence? And with the surname, if you go to the etymology dictionary online, you look up the word surname, it's an epithet.
Yeah, it is. It's epithet.
Yeah, which
it's
is
an add-on. It's an add-on. It's an add-on. That's right. Yeah.
Right. Now you understand what I was just trying to say to BB. The two names, the debtor is the surname. The creditor is the
That's correct. Yeah.
And the creditor is the Christian name.
That's correct. That's right. That's what I'm familiar with.
Right. So the thing about it, right. So let's go back to the birth certificate. Now, you understand the four corners rule, yeah?
Yeah. Because inside the boxes. Yeah.
Right. So
it's a coffin.
Right. So on a birth certificate, your name is in a box.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right. When you get the full title deed.
Hi.
There's nothing in a box.
BB, I've lost you off the call.
I'll just stop there. I don't know if he's all right. Elle's speaking to her.
Hi. Okay. I can't see you. Just try to get back in, and I'll say admit, or just press the link again. How does she get back on? Carl?
Just press the link from them.
Yeah, just click the link again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my WhatsApp's not working.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
So I'm messaging you though. Hello, Deborah.
Okay, all right
Long
then.
time.
All right, then I'll wait for you. Yeah. Okay. All right then.
Well,
all right. Speak to you soon.
All right. Finish what you were saying anyway, Carl, because this makes sense to where I'm at. Go on.
BB's trying to get back on. The internet's gone down where she's trying to get back on. So shoot, cool. Go on, Carl. Go on.
Yeah, no, basically all I'm saying basically is, so we've got the forenames and we've got the surname.
Yeah.
Now, if you look on the birth certificate, in your name box, basically it says name and surname. So that's where they've got us, because they've added the two names together, but they've used the word and, which is the ampersand.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it, and is basically add.
Yeah, it's a connector.
There you go.
Carl, 1 second. What is the BNF 01? What is that, the birth notification for?
Yeah.
And they're hard to get because the hospital don't want you getting them. Carl, you're one of the few I know, apart from my friend Amanda, who's managed to get us. There's not many people I know that actually get it because the hospital's got out of their way. It's their lifeblood. When we find in their hospital code, it's their lifeblood to stop you from getting hold of it. They do not want you. They do not want you getting hold of it. You're one of the few, other than I know a friend that I don't know, that have managed to get hold of it because they fight hard to keep hold of that. No, definitely, Carl. If you're saying it took you 10 years, Carl, you'd probably be about right because it took a man a good 3-4 years, and they was fighting hard for the for not to have it.
Wait a minute, Dale, because I haven't actually got it. That's the thing. I've got the manual and I've got the form as a blank form, and right. I've got Catherine West, the Labour MP of my area, writing on my behalf to the hospital, and they still haven't given it to me. They're asking me to write a formal letter of complaint.
That's ridiculous.
That's why I went and bought myself as the full title deed company. So now everything what's got that name on it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be bank account, it could be passport, it could be driving license, it could be letters, everything. Everything belongs in that trust, which is the full title deed. Do you see, the full title deed, your corporation name, when you buy it, a company's house, is basically your trust. That's what the full title deed is, with everything with your name on it, is in that trust. So once I went to the bank the other day, and I said to the guy about the bank, basically, and he said to me, your company number on your full title deed is actually your account number, is your bank account number. That's your account number for everything what goes on in this earth from the day you was born up to now. That's your account number. It's not a company number, it's an account number. That's
right. It's linked with your national insurance number as well. Yeah, they're all linked.
So, well, the national insurance number basically is when you open up your corporation, you get HMRC. If you're trading that company in the first place, HMRC sends you a unique tax reference number.
That's right.
Right. So you can use that number instead of your national insurance number. Because all the national insurance number is a tax number. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just to limit you on £12,000 a year for your tax. That's all it is. When you get the UTR number, which is the unique tax reference number, what belongs to the corporation.
Yeah, that's right. And my friend does that with.
You're allowed to earn up to 125,000.
Yeah, that's my friend. That's what we do with the trust because he's got a UTR number. We're doing all the discharge and stuff like that. Keep going. What you're saying makes sense to me. I don't think me and you're pretty much on the same page. Not about BB, but me and you're pretty much on the same page, Carl.
Totally.
Can I ask a question, Carl? It's Michael. So, I mean, you've mentioned about the birth certificate name is the one that's going to be used to create the company at Company's House. Okay. Yeah. Assuming there's a John Harold Smith.
Right.
Let's say there's 10 John Harold Smiths in the UK.
Right. This is what Janet.
How can all of them create the name?
Sure.
Because they've all got numbers. Carl will tell you it's all because they've got numbers.
No. It's not because of that. It's not because of that. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not saying not because of that. Sorry. Let me just come back on Mike. One sec, Dale. Mike, this came up yesterday. I was on the phone with Janet. Now, basically, I was helping her fill out the form on Company's House to buy the company. Now, the thing about it, what stood out to me in what Caroline said to me the other week, and she mentioned you about asking this question. Now, the thing about it, when you go on there, it asks you for your mother's maiden name and your father's first name. So it's going to be very unlikely that anybody else with the same name as you is going to have the same mother's maiden name and the same father's first name, basically. Do you see where that's going? Because you put that information in, you can put that information in.
Where's that? Can you say that again, Carl?
When you're
can you hear me?
When you're filling out the form to buy the company itself, if you go on government.legislation.
Carl, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. I was saying, where does it ask you for the mother's maiden name?
I'm explaining that. What I'm saying to you, when you go onto government website or legislation.gov and you're filling out the form from Company's House, it asks you these questions. Now, the thing about it also, to go to Mike again, yeah, no disrespect, but if there's 10 people out there with the same name and you've bought it first, then that's not your problem, Trip. You've got yours done. Don't think about anybody else. Secure yourself. So if there's 10 people out there with the same name, that's not your problem. But I'm sure, as Del said, remember, there's a number. There's a number, allocated number. And
that's how they differentiate. That's all I was saying, Carl. Yeah, that's how they differentiate. Otherwise, everybody having the same tax code, they couldn't differentiate. So they use the numbers. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, Carl, but I'm saying they use the numbers just to use that differentiation. But like Carl said, and I do agree with him, because you've obviously got that maiden names, which is slightly different. There's multiple ways in which they use to tell the differences between different corporations, different dates of birth and stuff like that. But they normally tend to use numbers because it's easier for them to track the numbers down. That's just how they do it. I'm not saying you're wrong, Carl, but I'm just saying that's how they tend to.
But I was thinking though that if you had, for example, Barclays Bank.
You're breaking up a bit, Mike. Mike, we've lost you with sound. You're broken up. I don't know if anybody can else hear you.
And let's say that there's a.
BB, you back? BB, you back?
Yeah, BB back.
I'm back.
Hi, BB.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mike. I can hear you. Go on.
Right,
Carry on.
Right. Okay. So what I was saying was that if you have at Barclays Bank, which is established, it's been around for hundreds of years, and everyone understands it. And then another guy called Harold Barclay wants to set up a bank, and he wants to call it Barclays Bank. He won't be able to because of the potential loss that he's going to.
Yes, but Barclays Bank doesn't have a birth certificate.
It's a corporation. And plus banking charters, they run completely differently. They've got banking charters. They've got specific charters that they have. All their stuff is trademark stuff like that, their logos and stuff. But they've also got a banking chart which makes them different. Like Carl's pointing out, it puts them in different jurisdictions of corporations. They've got specific charters that allow them to be different. But they are trading under Bank of International Settlement, so they're all trading through the BIS. So they're all monitored in some form or another, and that's owned by the Roman Curia anyway. Yeah. So everything's controlled from the get-go.
Yeah. And the thing about it, any corporation, if you make up a corporation like Pulling Potatoes, for example, that Pulling Potatoes company isn't going to have a birth certificate. And when you go on free BMD, you can look up all the information of your name, and your mother's name's there, your mother's maiden name's there, your father's name, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
But what Dell's just added, which I think is quite useful to know, is the fact that you need to go to copyright and also trademark. So you need to go to the Intellectual Property Office in order to obviously register your trademark and your copyright.
But as I said, the full title deed does all of that for you. The full title deed gives you trademark, gives you copyright, gives you intellectual property right, everything. It's the highest document you can get. Forget the trademark, forget the copyright, because as soon as you buy the title deed, that encompasses everything in one. You've just created the copyright, you've just created the trademark, everything, once you buy the title deed.
Well, you mean the company?
Yeah, the title deed is the company.
Right, okay.
That encompasses everything. You don't need to go and trademark your name once you buy your company. You don't need to copyright your name once you buy your company. Because everything's done in one.
I know that Victoria Beckham has done it, and Lewis Hamilton and a few others.
I'm not bothered about them.
Mm.
Okay. But yeah, as Dale said, there's no wrong in what anybody's doing here. That's the thing about it, because we're all on the same path of truth. That's it.
Yeah,
it's truth.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Carl,
the only reason I done what I done, because it stops them from being able to attack us the way they are attacking us.
Yeah, I agree with Carl. Yeah, go on, Carl.
Because we've got to remember that everything what's done on this earth is done by contract, which is common law.
Yes, that's what I found out. That's what we found out. That's why we use trust, because they're all interacting with through commerce. They're all interacting through through commerce. That's what we found out as well. Keep going, Carl. I'm on the same page with you. Keep going. So that's why we use Unidrive as well, because our contract is voluntary. That's why the can't force contract. That's another thing they don't like, is using Unidrive either. Go on, Carl. Keep going.
The thing about it, right? As I say, it's like, okay, so all contract runs on the sea, which is maritime and admiralty law. Now, the thing about it, when you buy the corporation, when you go and buy the corporation, it asks you, what country does the corporation reside in? And you say United Kingdom. Now, when you go under that and you say, this is the owner, and you've got the same name, uppercase, lowercase, it asks you, what country does the owner reside in? What's the difference? What's that country? What the owner resides in?
It's a corporation.
There are corporations. One's if you reside in, the reason what that is as well, Carl. I don't know if you agree with me, sort of, but you've got domestic and non-domestic, and they want to establish which jurisdiction it's in.
You're going off track. You're going off track. You're going. Listen to the question
England.
again. Listen to the
And
question.
the answer's England, is it? Is the answer England?
Thank you. So the company, when you register the company resides in the United Kingdom because that's what the drop-down menu says. It doesn't give you no other option. When you go to the owner and you fill out the owner's details, which is the same details as the company, the only difference is that when you get the drop-down menu for the country's England, because a man stands on the land.
Yes.
He doesn't stand in the sea or he would drown. So he has to. So somebody has to stand on land to own the ship, what's floating in the sea. Now, what you're doing at the moment, with everybody's got a birth certificate, you're floating out in the sea with no protection, so people can jump on your boat as pirates and rob you. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Once you buy the corporation back, basically what you're doing, you're dragging the sea back to dock, and you're getting the dock master to tie it to land. So he looks after it. So nobody can go on there. No pirates can go on there. No robbers can go on there. Nobody can go on there because it's under protection. That's why you have to keep doing your confirmation statement every year. And that only costs you £13.
Right. Carl, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open it up just to Delroy, BB, myself and you, yeah? All the others, if they can just stay on mute, because what I'm trying to do here is to get like your ideas, BB's ideas, Delroy's, all merged into one. So that's what we're trying to do, like is a mastermind brainstorming. So
but Errol, don't worry about that. If people want to ask questions, because there might be some confusion in the place as well.
But with the time constraints, so
no, but it's unlimited. It's unlimited time.
Yeah, well, I just want to keep it brief. We can do another one, but what I'm trying to do is that the object of this is that I've learned stuff from you, I've learned stuff from Delroy,
sure.
And I've put those all together, and I've learned from BB as well.
Sure.
And that all of it works. But what it is it all needs to, like I say, what GlaxoSmithKline do, they sit in a big office in there and they make
Errol,
because they have a mastermind.
Errol, the thing about it, you keep going off on. The thing about it, you've got to stop thinking about other companies and other people.
No, I'm not talking about that, Carl. Listen to me. I'm saying to you, we need to all come together as a big brain. Yeah? This says the saying, two heads are better.
Errol, the thing about it, yeah? What I'm saying to you about what's going on is that remember, I told you this 15 years ago, Dred. And I told you 5 years ago when I did it, to do this as well. And the thing about it, what I'm saying to you is, yes, BB's here, Del's here, I'm here. And we're inputting into this, yeah? No disrespect to yourself. But what I'm saying to you is, every time I'm telling you to do something, you don't do it. You wait for guinea pigs to do it. No, that's what I'm trying to say. So this ain't no big brain business.
No, the corporation, right?
We know that. Errol, you're back there. We know that already. You don't need to keep bringing that up. We know that. That's the thing about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We know information.
Carl, I'm saying, right, this call is not about that. The call is about us lot putting Delroy, BB, you all coming together to come up with a system, one system. We're all on the same journey, and we just want to try and fine-tune this, So let's just keep it on point. The point is, I've got BB here, and I've got Delroy here, and he's got a lot of the systems that you're doing, and BB's got something else to bring to the party. All of it works, so it's not about one thing is better than the other. It's about taking all the bits and putting together, and that's what this is about. To create one system.
But don't you think that's going to get confusing, because everybody's got different methods? Delroy's got methods, so is BB and Carl. So maybe the three of them ought to do it privately together rather than trying to confuse us now, because we're trying to
Caroline,
Me and Errol pretty much. Me and Carl are pretty much on the same page.
That's
Exactly,
it.
I know, and I know BB's on a completely different wavelength too, because I've heard BB quite a while ago. So this is going to get confusing for the people who don't understand. Who do you? Which method do they go with? So
see, the thing is, 1 second, Caroline, 1 second. Look, I mean, I might have to mute everybody because I said at the beginning of the call, I only want Delroy, Carl, BB, and me speaking. Everyone else.
But Errol,
no, Carl, I'm not doing it any other way. No, because we're trying. This is a meet and greet. This is the first call. The next calls we can do, but they've never met each other.
Okay, go on, talk. Errol. Yeah. Okay, Del, you chat, man.
Me and you are on the same page. Oh, the only slight difference is when you brought your the corporation. We've just done what you've done. We've done it in a slightly different way. What we do is because obviously I'm aware of what you're doing with all the surety and all that. So if somebody's speaking, I don't interrupt them.
No, I think that's just background noise from someone.
All right. Sorry, Carl. Yeah. So basically, we've done what you've pretty much done. It's just there's some slight tweaks, difference. So, for instance, we found out what you found out with the birth notification and the legal type that's set up by the government, the equity type which they give us, and obviously the birth notification, which is found in the mother's antenatal record. The man found out, and she took years to find out, and the hospital refused it, and all this. We went through a right old palaver, and we had to go for the hospital's cause, and the hospital refused. Oh, it was crazy. But the principal thing is, you know that how it started off like we do, right? So what we do is we've set up a trust. Was what we didn't like what they were doing was it kept trying to stand us a surety for all these fake contracts they're offering us and all the rest of it. We said we've had enough of all that. Police try to drag in everybody in the car, try to force contract and all the rest of it, right? Your way is slightly more simple, Carl, to be honest with you. But at the time when we did it, obviously we had to still deal with the courts, the police, and everybody's trying to going on stupid with themselves, right? So all we did was say, right, we're not standing short for that stupid birth certificate. So while we do more research on this, on the birth notification stuff, because we're in the middle of doing that, we're going to put the birth certificates in trust. We no longer stood a short from the government's going to be involved, but we're not contracting with anybody we don't want to contract with. Now, what that did using the UPU was, and we got the UTR numbers. What it did is what it put us into a position where we were protected initially while we were doing the research similar to what you're doing now. That's why we went down that route. What you're doing is very similar to what we're doing. It's just that you've protected the main corporation. What we've done is set up a trust to protect the corporation. You brought the original corporation and using it in the same way. So ours is pretty much we're on the same page. It's just slightly different. You're just using the main title deed. We've created a title deed, put the other one in the trust while we're researching stuff we need to research. So we and you are pretty much, Carl, on the same page. We get the principle of it. We get what's going on. We know about the language issues. We know about all that. It's BB that's slightly different. Me and you, Carl, pretty much the same. The only difference is when we're doing contracts is that we use the UPU because all these corporations still keep trying to contract. So how we shut them down. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. So we had to shut them down while we're doing this research into this. That's what I'm on about, because there was still the title deed. It was still out in La La Land because it won't be protected. We know the ship was out there. It was no flag. It's an abandoned vessel. There's no flag on it. It's not put no claim on it. So while we're doing that, we still had to have a way of protecting ourselves while we're doing the research into this stuff, because obviously we knew it was to do with the birth notification. And while the hospital was being a pain in the ass while we're getting all the information we're getting, we still needed to deal with these muppets who were trying to force in a contract we didn't want to. And so that's why I put the birth certificates into trust, so that when they were trying to contract with us and try to force in a contract, they couldn't do that. So that stopped them on that front, while we need to do what the last bit, which is what you're on about. So me and you're pretty much on the same page, Carl.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Dale. But that's what I'm saying to you. Again, as I said, I've been doing the same thing as you for 25 years. Now, the thing about it, this is the only thing, because as you say rightly, what you've been doing is everything that all of you lot is doing is done via the birth certificate, because you haven't claimed back the total full title deed of the corporation. That's why you're doing the UCC. That's why you're doing the UPU. That's why you're doing it, because you're still doing it under the birth certificate. And that's why they keep trying to come at you, because If you had the full title deed, done. They ain't coming at you.
Right, 1 second. I just need to interject there, Carl. Right, so BB, she came up with a system. BB, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, so what BB, this is why I want to merge all the things together, you see, because what you're saying, Carl, is good, and what BB's saying is good, and what BB does is she notifies all the Home Office, all these offices when she's done something.
Errol,
so she's
Errol.
putting them on. Wait, Carl, please let me finish.
I know, but Errol, it's irrelevant what you're saying. It's irrelevant what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You keep going back into this irrelevant talk.
No. Hold on, Carl. Let me finish, please. I'll let you talk. I didn't interrupt you. Look.
Right.
So what BB's done is I'm saying we need to merge this stuff. What you're saying is good. Like I'm saying, you've done that, but what you say is like, if they write to you, just go non-addressee. But what BB's doing is she's like notifying all these people. So I'm saying we could use that.
Errol,
we can use
Errol,
that. So
Errol,
BB, can you? Oh, 1 second.
No,
Carl,
Errol, wait a minute. Stop.
BB.
Errol, stop.
One
Errol,
second.
because you're confusing the whole thing. Let me ask you one question. What's the difference between implied and expressed? What's the difference?
Wait a second.
No, before you go any further, answer that question, because other than that, you're talking irrelevant. What's the difference between implied and expressed?
Well, something's implied. If I imply something, it doesn't mean that I've said it. And if I express something, it's just if I've expressed like a
right. Stop there. Now stop there. Now you understand that. What I'm trying to say.
I don't understand it. I understand.
Errol, I'm going to
anyway,
explain it to you. Errol, you just answered the question. Implied and expressed is two different things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So let me finish. Let me just finish this for a second, and I'll let you know why it's irrelevant. Because the thing about it, what BB, what Dell, and everybody else is doing, and I'm not being big-headed here or anything else like that. Yeah. I'm just saying to you, when you're under implied rights, which is the birth certificate, yeah, once you buy the name back, they express it to everybody. They express it to the UPU. They express it to the UCC. You don't have to do any of this work. You go to them and they do it for you because they're your public servant. At the moment, they're not your public servant because you're holding the birth certificate. You belong to the system. You belong to them. So you're running around like headless chickens trying to do all this work. You don't need to do any of it. You don't need to know any of this knowledge. You go to them like you would go to the bank, and they are your public servant. They would do everything for you. Once you hold the title deed and you go to them and you say, right, sort out my UCC, they will say, yes, sir, and they'll do it for you. Once you hold the title deed, you go to the UPU and they will do it for you. Yes, sir. This is what I'm trying to say to you. If you want to explain it for all the others to go and do under the birth certificate, I'll shut up.
Right, no, I'm just saying, I'm trying to bring BB in here because BB, right, BB, what you do, you notify all the government organisations, don't you?
Yes.
But that's what
Carl,
I want to ask.
Let BB speak.
I want to ask one question.
Sure.
And I need to know if anyone have it. Does anyone have a birth certificate with the Sisti QV Trust on it, written on it? The Queen has signed, and so is the President of the Philippines have signed on that birth certificate. Every single one of us have one of those. Do you have a copy of yours? Can I see it?
The thing about it, BB, the thing about it with that question, yeah? Okay, let me just answer that question slowly. When you buy the title deed, what comes with that? It says that you can now see this as your new company birth certificate. And that's been stamped and sealed by the Queen and by Companies House. It's your new birth certificate. It has your name on it. And there's no four corners on it.
No, hold on. I'm talking about the birth certificate that carries trust with everything you own, this life and past life from your forefathers.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm answering.
It has a Sisti QV Trust at the top of it. Then the proper birth certificate, right?
Which is the birth notification form.
With the Queen's signature, her handwriting in ink, and the President of the Philippines. Now that birth certificate does not go on any trust or whatever they give us is what they made up, and they're still making money on that birth certificate, not the one that they give you in that corporation.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the birth.
Does anybody have a copy of their birth certificate that way?
No, I don't.
That's out there. That's out there, Errol, and it's still making money. I don't care what trust you. These people are very crafty. They're not going to give you, if they give you a black card, you can never live that out because you have billions and they mind handing you a black card and tell you can go spend.
BB, there's the black card. There's the black card.
Uh-huh.
That's the black card.
I see it.
They've already invited you
like
to
a
have a
credit
black
card.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to say. This is the whole point of this mastermind group. See, Carl, you've got some stuff. BB, you've got some stuff. Delroy, you've got some stuff. I've put all of the things together and I've used them. I've merged them. So what I'm trying to say is I need us to all, Carl, you know a lot of stuff. You're probably light years ahead of us. But there's stuff that you can still learn and we can all learn off each other. We just need to take a bit of each and make it into something. So I'm saying BB's coming at another angle. I know what you're saying about the corporation and that, and I get that totally. And Delroy's on the same page. I just believe that BB's, what she's got, she's done. This woman was able to go from a cell, right, just through using these to walk out to freedom. And how many people, you know someone, I'm not going to say who it is, but you know someone who's doing 30 odd years, right? If he could do this stuff, he can't go and buy a corporation car and walk out that jail, right? There's no way you can tell me that, but BB's got answers to do that. So I'm saying we need to all work together as a mastermind group. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but hold on, wait a minute. But BB, she's even stated in herself in the Sasha Stone interview that when she was in prison, she learned the legal book.
BB, go on.
No.
Right. So once you
understand, I did not learn the EAGAR book. I did not learn the legal book. I learned the lawful way how to get out and what they have done. And from there on, I have been seeing it. Now, if someone have their birth certificate with a CIS-PQB trust on it, then the corporations worldwide have no contact or no way of getting your money because you know where it is then. But if you don't have it, it is out there. It is out there. It's not the birth certificate that you give them on the corporation and you're using and with your national insurance number. That is not the birth certificate I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that the corporations still have. They have it and they're not going to give it to you and they're not going to show it to you. And they tell you, okay, I'm going to do all this for you. I'm going to form this corporation. You don't have to do nothing. I'm giving you a black card. You can spend as much money as you want. I have some friends in Georgia. They're Moors. That's what their religion is. And they have stuff under the UC where they can do the same thing you're doing with your black card. Now, the birth certificate they have is the one with the trust on it. That means nobody out there in the world would have that, only you.
So can I just say,
that's your birth certificate, then you're fine.
Can I just interject? Right. You came out of the call. You lost signal in the call. Do you understand what the birth notification form is?
To notify them about your birth certificate?
No. Do you know what the birth? No. Do you know what the birth notification form is?
No, I have never seen.
All right. So that's the original document, what creates the birth certificate in the first place. That comes from the hospital. It's a quadripart form.
Yes.
The top part goes to the birth registrar. The second part goes to the perinatal clinic. The third part goes to the health pricing office. And the last part stays at the hospital. That's correct. The birth notification form. That's the document you're talking about.
No. The one I have, right? The one I have and the one I have for the royals copy of, it's the birth certification I'm talking about. That has your trust on it. And on the royals birth certificate, the queen did not sign off on it because she does not want it to go for the money. And that's the birth certificate they're using. They're going to tell you all kinds of stuff. These people are deep into this. They know what to do and what to say to us to shut us up. So they will give you a black card. They will give you all the money you want to spend, but they're not telling you how much hundreds of billions you have, because what your forefathers have comes down to you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's inheritance. Inheritance.
Totally.
That's the birth certificate I have with a Sisti QV trust on it that goes against your all block letters name, your last name.
See, this is what, sorry to interject, BB. This is what I'm trying to say, Carl. What we need to do, BB's got another angle. We need to put her angle with your angle, with Delroy's angle, and we need to get all this in one thing. Because obviously it's like a puzzle. We have to all put the pieces together to make it fit to the whole picture. Because we, like, let's be honest, none of us have got the whole picture yet. If we all had the whole picture, like BB said, we'd just be sitting there on a beach with billions and no one can say anything to us like, look, Prince Andrew, right, he's supposed to go to the FBI. Is he going to the FBI extra? No, he's not, right? Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say here. We got to get on that level where we are truly sovereign. And we need to do this by coming together and putting all the pieces together. Do you agree, Delroy?
We already are sovereign. It's just a case of coming together and getting rid of the entities that we don't want contracting with us. The mentality that we've already got is already here. We're already conscious. We already know what's going on. The issue is applying that to make sure that no corporations who you don't want to do business with you don't have to. That's what Carl's saying. That's what BB's saying. I get them all of them. I get what they're saying. I get it.
Yeah, I fully understand what's going on.
Hold on. Sorry, Errol?
Yeah, go on, BB.
Sorry, love. I have a class in 10 minutes with a Supreme Court judge from Scotland. So I will have to go offline. I'll have to get with you guys after. Okay?
Yeah, okay,
and
no
another
problem.
time?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks, BB. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Carl's still here. We're still here. I don't think anybody's gone. I think we're being. It sounds as though we're not getting any interruptions at the moment. For how long, I don't know, but it seems okay. The signal is clear. Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like I said, you know me. I'm already at this point whereby we used to trust stuff because while we were doing the research to find out what the birth notification was, which was Carl's just been on about, and we found it out that it's, like you said, it's a quadriform. You've got the green, you've got the colours on it, blue, green, pink, and yellow.
Yeah,
that's it. And when the top form is right, this is all to do with trust with a general executive. So your general executive position is the black and white one. The trustee is the pink one. The remittance form for anybody else to get paid is the yellow one, and the blue one is the beneficiary. I've got the bonds from, and that Carl said there's certain departments that they're all sent to. So what we found out, but it took us a while, Carl, to find this stuff out, because when we had all the hospital codes, we were trying to hide all this stuff. So it took us a while to get to a point where we managed to research basically what you're talking about, because we've only found out not even that long ago. It was only fairly recently that we managed to finally get kind of the crux of this, that we knew what they were doing, but we didn't have the evidence until recently. That's the biggest difference. All right, that's what I'm trying to say. So the only thing I need to do now is to do the bit that Carl's on about, and that's prep. Is do the company's house thing. That's the last thing I need to do. Everything else I've already got in place. The last thing I need to do is do what Carl's already done. And that's by the is to do the company's house thing. Yeah. And I could just put it in my own trust. That'll protect the asset, and then that's it. That's something to do.
Dale, let me just interject there. You don't have to put it into any trust. That is the main trust. Everything else will be in that. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You keep saying about this trust, and you want to take the full title deed and put it in a trust. You don't need to, because the full title deed is the trust of all trusts. Every trust you've got is going to go into that full title deed. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right.
That is the highest document you can ever have. When you buy a house, yeah, you get a title deed for the house.
Yes.
Right. Nobody can come above that title deed because it's your house. So if you bought the title deed to your house, which is your body, because we're a spirit in the body having a human experience.
Yes.
Right. The body is your house. You are the spirit is the tenant in your temple. So if you buy the full title deed, nobody has, and everything will go into that full title deed for you.
You went a bit wobbly there a minute, Carl. Del, you still there?
Yeah. I've just Carl, it kind of cut off a little bit, Carl, towards the end. It went a bit weird. No, it's not your fault. It just went a bit weird when you were speaking.
No,
sorry.
That's cool. No, all I was, because it said internet unstable on my screen.
Yeah, that's
all I was saying is basically when you buy a house, you get the full title deed for the house, so you own that house.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So if you now go, so once you buy that house is in the public domain still. You have to go to land registry to change it into private land, so nobody can come on your land. Yeah. So now what you're doing is exactly the same thing, but with your body, which is your house, which is your temple, and the spirit lives in the temple, having a human experience. When you buy the full title deed back to this temple, nobody has any encumbrance. It's not held in any encumbrance of any office.
Right. Okay. So 1 second, Carl. There's a question come from Chris to everyone. It says, question for Delroy. What are the benefits of what you have achieved so far?
Right. Well, while we were researching this, in terms of the trust stuff that we did, because we set up our own trust, because obviously their Sesta KV one, using all the stuff that they're doing, we went to our own one because what was, as everybody knows, they keep standing you as surety. So the issue was, while we're doing the research into the hospital stuff, which is what Carl's already done, we've been doing it, but it took us a long time to get all these the antenatal records and stuff like that, and the birth notification and all the stuff that Carl's on about. We had to fight the hospitals for. This has taken a while. Me and my friend Amanda was doing it, right? And so recently we've managed to finally get a hold of them. And basically, what we did was, while what was happening was, obviously your fiction is still in La La Land. And it's still an abandoned vessel beyond the sea. It's got no flag. The flags are not flying and stuff like that. Now, I know about the international stuff and the flags flying and not being abandoned vessels. So, right, for the time being, we're going to have to put something in place to stop these corporations from interfacing with us while we do the research that we need to do. Because obviously, it's still and we still need to be able to do discharge and stuff like that. UTR number. My friend came, set up his trust. UTR number got put, that UTR number out. And while we're doing the research to this, we was able to do all the discharge stuff like that. So we weren't getting any kind of problems from them. So we're doing the discharge, and anytime we didn't want to do business with anybody again, the trustees would make it very clear for the UPU that we didn't have to do no contract with them. So once we used the UPU, they had to stop dealing with us because they were committing mail fraud. So that got rid of them that way, and that was fine. We're kind of doing our own thing. The only thing we haven't done, which is what Carl's done, and this is what needs to be done, and I agree with Carl on this, is to do the last process. The last process is actually buying the Thing Food Company's house. Because now we found out the birth notifications, the things that I'm looking into now is what Carl's already done. Because this is the next bit we've now come on to, because we knew about the birth notification stuff. And so now we've got to that side of it. We now come full circle to where about Carl is now. So it's funny that I've gone to this call and we've come on to where Carl is now. So the benefits for us is the fact that if we don't want a contract with anybody, essentially, even if the birth certificate's in La La Land, which it is at the moment till they do what Carl's done, we've got an ability to stop them from doing business with us while the thing is in La La Land. So that's the only good thing about what we're doing at the moment. Right? Once it's bought, then obviously we don't have to do thing at all. But as an intermediary, while this process has been going, it's helped us to stop having to do commerce with anybody we didn't want to. That's what I would say to Chris. So the benefits of using... Go on.
I totally agree with you, Del. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, see, this is why I wanted to get you guys on the call, because I know that what we're going to be able to do is make something that's like competition crushing. Like I say, it's like putting all these ideas together. Like they say, 2 heads are better than one, so we like 10 heads or whatever. Does that will make this thing like work. Now there's a thing that I wanted Delroy to come in on here, because he's doing the same thing as you, Carl. He hasn't got a passport because he doesn't want the status. So if you can just tell Carl about status, Delroy.
I assume Carl's found this out because he's gone through the birth notification. So I'm going to assume he's found it out because he will have done. Obviously, with the port pass or passports, these are all fictional contracts. So the issue is your status, because obviously the living man is different from the corporation, as we all know. So the issue is, the reason why I don't want a passport is because if you look on your passports and everybody's got one, you look at the thing in the top corner and say status, and it'll say P, which means pauper.
Type P, yeah, type P.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm on about. Yeah, you must have come across it, Carl, because we're pretty much on the same page, which means pauper. Obviously, so what we found out is that's the wrong status, because that's the status we don't want. If we're going to be doing any kind of travel, going anywhere, you want to be going as a living body, as a living man. So obviously, the thing that we got into is like, well, how do the diplomats travel?
Yeah,
so we've made.
One second, Carl. That's the point I wanted you to status.
Right, I just want to interject.
Wait, Carl. One second. See, now that's the point. See, Delroy has hit on the point. I know,
Errol. I'm going to ask you.
1 second. Wait. 1 second. Delroy said about status, and that tweets me up because I've got a patient of mine is a member of a royal family. Right now, with that, what she did, she brought goods into the country. She paid no tax. She went straight through the VIP. She said, I'll take it. They can bring anything in the country. They can bring drugs. They can bring anything they want because of the status on their passport. So go on, Carl. Go on, you talk.
Del, what you were saying just there, right? I totally agree with you with the P and the type and things like that. Now, the thing about it, what we've got to look at, is this. When you buy the full title deed, you are saying that you own the corporation. Now, you're the director of that corporation. You can play any role you want. The CEO, the director, the administrator, the trustee, the stock, whatever you want. Now, when you travel, you're traveling on behalf of the company. So now you get a passport with a different type.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. Yeah, that's what you want, the D. The D, you want either A or the D. That's right. Keep going. So we're on the same page again, Carl.
Yes, because the thing about it, what you're doing now, you're traveling on behalf of the corporation. So the man can travel for the corporation. So it isn't the man's passport, it's the corporation's passport. Do you see that?
So you can get a corporate passport, but you can now get.
But the status is but the status is correct, because the status is key on it, because it's a standing, and with it. This is what Carl's on about. This is why he gets where I'm coming from. So yeah, so the issue is it's your status on it, because you don't want to be the pauper. You either want the D or the A. You want the aristocrat or diplomat.
What does the A stand for?
Aristocrat.
Right, and the D is diplomat. Yeah,
that's correct. That's right. That's correct, Carl.
Yeah. Now the thing about it also as well. Quick question I want to ask, Del. You know, you speaking about Amanda.
Yeah, my friend. Yeah.
What was the actual process she went through to get the birth notification form? Because I've gone to.
Go on.
I've gone to Camden West, the Labour MP. Now, even though they're in the system and they're whatever, blah blah blah, I know they're going to play these trickery games as well, not to give us anything.
Exactly.
But I'm just asking you, what was yours and Amanda's process to get the birth notification form?
Well, I'm still in the middle of trying to get mine, but Amanda's managed to get. I think she's managed to get hers. So, and it was in the mother's antenatal. I think it's antenatal records. Yeah, antenatal records. Yeah, it's in the antenatal records, and she's. So basically, I discussed this with my friend Amanda at length. We were talking about it. I said, look, I know that what's going on in the hospital is birthright theft. I know it's a birthright. I knew this, but we didn't have the evidence until she got hers recently. It's only very, very recent. So basically, she went to the hospital. They had the guards at the hospital. They took her to this computer, and they said, this is what we've got, which is that first notice, which is what you were just on about. Amanda said, no, there's got to be one that my mum signed off, and rare. And so eventually, she had to, and I'll get it. I'll have to put it up because she sent me them not long ago. Basically, the hospital have a set of codes that they have, and I forgot what they're called. But these codes, it talks about the lifeblood of the hospital. Okay. lifeblood. You know what I'm on about, right? So she had to write to the hospital's the main directors, and she had to keep pushing them until she says, right, I want to see all my hospital records and all my mother's hospital records, right? When she got all mother's hospital records, she then looked in the antenatal records,
yes,
right? And when she looked in there, it was in there. That's how she found it,
right? Now,
and she took it. So that's how she got it.
Because I've been writing to the hospital. The guy at Whittington Hospital, he's the head of PALS, which is the Dave Senior.
Yeah.
Now the thing about, I've written to him back and forth, and he's agreed with me, and he's actually told me, yes, it's not in your records, it's in your mum's records. So I totally agree with what you're saying there. Now the thing about this is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so is Amanda's mother still alive?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I was speaking to the other day.
Right. So this is the thing about, because my mum passed away in 2008. So I only started looking at it from 2015. So that's the reason why, if your mother's still alive, yes, I totally agree with Del. If anybody's mother's still alive, go with your mother even and look through her records, and you will see it, and you take it out. And that's yours. That's the birth notification form. The only
now, get this. Right now, go on. Just finish off, Carl. I want to add something just to mention about. You finish your bit, and I'm just going to add something specific. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, basically, all it is, because of the mother's records, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just saying that the letters I was writing to the hospital is I was writing to Dave Senior, and he's been corresponding back and forth with me. But the last letter he wrote, he kind of like, I put a very big question in there, and he hasn't responded. That's why I've got in touch with the Labour MP, Catherine West, and she runs the whole of Hornsey Wood Green, blah, 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 etc. So do you see what I'm saying? So I totally understand, because I know they're in your mother's records, because it wouldn't be in your records, because your mother had you.
That's right, and this is what we went through, because when we found out the hospital codes, it talks about, and like I keep saying, it talks about the lifeblood and the vitality of the hospital. And this is what when I was reading something like, so then Amanda went to look at her records, she couldn't find them in there. So I said to Amanda, I said, listen, you come through the womb of your mum. There has to be some link with your mum in there, because there's something I do have, but I don't. But I'll only show it to you if I can physically come and see you, because I can't show it. I don't show it online. No, I don't know if I don't ever seen it, but I've got some. Basically, like say like somebody has a home birth.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. I'm lucky. A midwife gave me those records. That's why I know what they look like, and I've got them now. I'm willing to show them to you, so you know what they look like when you go get them, because that's how she knew. Because I had these, a midwife gave me them, and she said, "Please do not tell anybody you've got them." I've still got them, right? And I showed them to Amanda, and I said, "This is what you want." So when she went to when she started writing about that into the hospital now, and they knew what she's after. I mean, and trust me, like you, they went out of their way. They went out of their way to make sure that she could not get it. She dragged the mum in there and everything, and basically she for whatever reason Amanda said to me, I was lucky when I went to the hospital that day. My mum demanded records, because when she got them and she took the things and she got what she needed, right? She knows people who've tried to do the same thing, and the hospital twats, they took them out of the record. They've took them out of the mum's now. That's how sick they're going around, Carl. So she's lucky to get hers.
Don't worry. I need to ask you something, right? What happens if the hospital's closed down?
It doesn't matter.
It don't make no difference, because your mum's records, because this is how the Jesuits work, how they work the Roman Cabal Code.
There you
regardless, regardless, the General Registry Office will know where all the records are. So even if the hospital's closed down, there's a centre, I think, just down the road from me in Leeds, where you've got some of the men each sort of designation in the country. Maybe there's some in London, there's some in Leeds, there's some in all big cities. If a hospital gets shut down, you've got like a main council registry office where those records would go to until another hospital was opened up, and then the mum's records will go there. So it'll get re-centralised. Carl knows as well as I do. It gets re-centralised, and then it'll go back out to where it needs to go to. So yeah, but they need the lifeblood. This when I read the hospital's thing, when man explained to me, when they talked about the lifeblood and the birthright, it's called the divine portion of the human body, and it's birthright theft. And what they do when they prick the soles of the feet, they claim your soul for what's called covification. The Jesuits do all this Roman cabal cult style, and so when that blood is pricked and they put it onto the records, that's what makes it living. This is what Carl knows as well as I. That makes it living, and then that's how they create all the other titles off from that. And the mum signs all that stuff off when she's in the hospital. Now I've got the books that look like this. I'm willing, Carl, to bring you to so you can see them, so that when you go to the hospital, you know exactly what you're demanding of them. And I'm quite happy for you to see them when I see you. It's not a problem.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, Carl, that I'll arrange a meeting like for all of us to get together.
So Del, this is the manual for the birth notification form. You can download it offline. That's the manual. Now inside of it, right? It actually gives you the whole basic. One second, let me just, where's that section?
Right, so Carl, before, I've got another question here on the chat from James, yeah?
Yeah.
It says, Carl, please, can I free myself without having the BNF from the hospital?
Yeah. You just buy yourself at the company's house, the title deed. Because everything, once you get the title deed, your birth notification form, your birth certificates, your passport, your job, everything is under that document. If you went into a solicitor and he asked you for identification and you gave him the passport or the driving license or the birth certificate, he would see you as being owned by the system. If you gave him the full title deed, he would know how to talk to you.
I got it. So if anybody comes and they ask for identification, you're just giving the full title deed. They can't mess with it. And that's the passport now. So now the passport now, right? When you're going to apply for a passport in that corporate, so you're going to get a corporate passport.
Yes. You take the full title deed and you get the passport.
Brilliant.
Because they give you the passport off the full title deed. It's like opening a bank account. When we went down to the bank said...
What about a driving license?
Same thing. As I just said, basically, Errol, come on, man. The birth certificate creates everything.
Yeah.
Right. So anything before the birth certificate has the power. Now the birth notification form created the birth certificate.
Yeah. That's right.
That's why Dale's saying you can't. They're giving it so hard to get it.
Yeah, the minute, like I said, we will look, like I said to Carl, I don't know whether it's she, Amanda said to me she was looking at there when she went in, for whatever reason, they went into the records and it just happened to be there. She knows other people tried to get it and haven't got it.
This is it.
They haven't got it. And this is what Carl is saying. I agree with Carl completely. It's as the hospital said, it's the lifeblood of the hospital. Yeah. But like I said with Carl, I have got stuff that I can show you. So again, it's worth fighting because it's a principle. You're doing like me, Carl. You do it from a principle point of view.
Of course.
It's like, this is mine and it's a principle. Give me back my shit because it's mine. It's nothing to do with you. You're spot on, Carl. Yes.
It's your property. That's the thing about it. It's your property. So no, once you hold the full title deed, all property with your name on it goes into that title deed. Done. That's why I did what I did, because I was having that misunderstanding. Well, not misunderstanding. They was fucking about and playing the game. Sorry for the language. They was playing the game. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go pull the whole full title deed, by the company itself, by the name, because then everything comes under that name. So they can't do nothing. The thing about it, when I wrote to Catherine West, the Labour MP, I was doing it. She doesn't know I hold the full title deed yet.
All right.
That's the thing. That's why they're playing these games. But once this lockdown finish up and I go and see her,
you're gonna mash her up.
I didn't even want to say that. Thank you for saying that.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, because I know the frustrations that we went through when my friend was trying to get hers, and the amount of blocking that they were doing, block after block after block after block after. I know what you've gone through because I've seen it. You get me? Because I've seen it as we went through a similar journey to yourself. You get me? We've been through the similar journey. You get me? And I know how hard it is. You get me? Because these people are not making it easy. Because if you want to execute on,
right, this is the blank copy of the form. That's the birth notification form itself. It's a blank copy. Yeah, I've only got a blank copy. but I got this off a doctor.
Right.
Yeah, you see here, it's got the registration stamp.
Yes.
And over here, it says here, what does that say? It says the infant's details.
Yes.
Right. So the infant came first. A child only becomes a child 7 years.
That's right.
That's what the
Lost at
Testamentary
sea.
Act comes into. When the man goes missing for the period of 7 years, it's the child now. That's why they put child on your birth certificate and not infant. The birth notification form, that's the form. It's a blank form, but that's the form. It says infant at the top. But they make you into a child at the age of 7. But they fool us by giving us the birth certificate. Because really and truly, you're not going to need a birth certificate before the age of probably 15, 16. When
16.
You see, before you go and get a bank account and stuff like
that.
that.
Yeah, getting national insurance number gets come at 15. So they start offering these contracts then. Yes.
So you don't need a so now the infant has grown up more, but the infant goes from 0 to 7. That's what the infant is, and that's the birth notification form.
And he's right. And just to add something to you, interesting enough, Carl, because I work in education, and you know this is true, Carl. Do you know I want to know this? This is fascinating. A couple of years ago, because obviously I work with children that are under, I work with the youth that are under 7, and the hospitals came in to do some kind of check-in or something, and what I noticed was the boys on the titles, they were called masters. Yes. And I obviously they didn't know that. They didn't know that. I told you this. I've already told you this. And I was like, because they were under 7. You get me? They were under 7. I'm like, I see the girls are called mistresses and the boys were called masters. I said, now I know that they're living. And when they get to key stage 2, that's when they turn them into the dead. And that's when they turn to misters. And that's how I know that. So what you're saying, I've seen all that, like you, Carl, I've seen it all. And it's just by chance I've been in the right place at the right time to see something to let me know. You get me? I'm like you, Carl. I get it.
Don't wait. I just need to, I've got another question, yeah? It's from Caroline to everyone, and it says, has anyone got a passport with the letter A or the letter D?
Oh, no, not the more, because I had applied for a new one, because until I get this, until I've done the stuff that Carl's done, which is what I was in the middle of starting to do, because I realized everything is a status issue. It's a status issue. If you're legally dead, civilian mortals, then you're legally dead. So the only way you're going to be able to deal with this is to be able to get your status and standing right. And one of the reasons why we went for the birth notification form, because we knew that was the thing that started it off, and that's the living issue. And so we wanted to get back to this issue of, we know what's dead and we know what's living. We all know it's all interconnected. So if we get hold of everything now, we can put our aim was to do is get hold of everything we need to get hold of it, and then put it into trust. That was all this. So all we're doing is, Carl, what you're saying is, because we didn't know about the trust, because we didn't get the trust title deed, we were going to do it from the birth notification point, get all that, put all that into trust, and just do essentially what you're doing. It's just a slightly different way. But obviously, if you can do it for the title deed, it's still the same thing. But the precipice is the same. The same thing is to make sure that you're in a position whereby you've got to you're protecting yourself in commerce, because even if your fiction has been protected in commerce, and the best way we found of doing that, obviously, you know yourself, is trust, because it lets you interface. It lets it interface with any commercial construct, which is essentially what you're doing. But it's the same. We're working on the same premises, just like we've got slightly different angles, but the same fundamentals. We've come up. We're burning heads against the same things. I find it interesting how your MPs have done the same thing with you, trying to slow you down and all that nonsense.
Thanks for that. Well, Carl, one second. I've got a question for you, right? This is from Chris to everyone. Carl, is the title deed the certification of incorporation?
Yeah, well, the thing about, okay, 1 second. Yes, 1 second. One second.
Yeah, I can see that.
You got a company number, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the thing about it, Del, this is for you. There's no boxes on there.
No, there isn't. That's first thing I noticed straight away. There's no boxes, which means it's not in La La Land, because it's and these boxes are different contract world.
Now, let me just show you this. 1 second. This is just a pamphlet. What comes with it? Yeah. That's just a pamphlet. Listen to what this says. Actually, I'll hold it up there. I don't know if you can read it. Can you read that?
It's a bit unclear, Carl, but you can read it.
I'll read it. It says, this can be thought of as your company's birth certificate. What does the name say there?
Yeah, we can see it there. I can see it. It's
Right.
L. It's
So
limited.
So if that's the company's birth certificate and it's got my name on it, that's my new birth certificate. Done.
Yeah.
And they tell you it's
Okay.
your birth. They tell you it's the birth certificate. That's
It's
the
yeah, he said it's a new one. I like the fact they said it's a new one. So that
I've got
means
another one. Sorry, so another question. Caroline wants to know: do you think we will have a choice of A or D? I want D.
Yes, you will. Because the thing about it, if you're a D, you're not belonging to the royal family.
yes, diplomat.
A is aristocrat. Aristocrat
That's right.
belongs to royalty. It was born into
That's
royalty.
right.
Diplomat, it means that yes, you are a sovereign, but you're not born in the. If you go back to the legal book and you look up the word natural, this is what I can't understand about when people say, "Yeah, I'm a natural person," because there are two definitions of natural. One is a natural fool, and one is a natural born subject. The natural born subject in the law dictionary tells you that you're born in the line of the kingship, basically. Now, when you're a natural fool, that's just the word natural. So you can be a natural person, but they're talking about the natural fool, which where the plebeians basically is, as Dale said earlier on, you're a pauper. Yeah?
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Because you're not born in royalty, you become the diplomat. If you're born into royalty, you become an aristocrat. So for example, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry just had their baby. He would have A on his because he's born into royalty. That's aristocratic.
That's right, yeah.
Because we're just born as normal people in that certain respect, then we become...
Carl, just need to interject there quickly.
Sure.
You're spot on there, and I'll tell you why. Because one of my patients is a royal princess, right? But she wasn't born into the royal family.
Sure.
Not this country, another country. And on her passport, I got a copy of it. She's got the D, and that's what I'm saying. They walk through, like she just walked through the customs. Well, they don't have when they get off the plane, they don't get off at the same bit. You're all queuing up. They just walk straight through with their bags.
Right.
Like, and what I did was I said to her, look, let's just get me some stuff, right? And I don't want to pay the VAT on it because it's thousands, right? She'd just go, yeah, like, I'll just take it through for you. She just comes straight through,
that's
right?
It.
And all of that, everything, that's it. And they can take anything. They don't get searched.
Can I just?
Same with Knights of Malta.
Can I just answer you on that, Errol?
Mm.
The reason why, she didn't have to show anything or declare anything. Because when you buy the full title deed, you're declaring everything from then. So you've declared everything already. When you buy the full title deed, you've declared it. So no one can do anything to you because you've already given you a declaration.
So coming back to Caroline's question then.
Sorry.
So with the choice of an A or D, she wants a D. How
yeah, she'll get that. She'll get that.
But she can't. Oh, she can't get the A. She'll just get the D.
Well, if she's born into Caroline? Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all are.
Of course we are. We are.
I'm royalty, don't you know? I'm royalty.
See it there, sister. See it there. But yeah, no, that's my only assumption. That's just a theory of mine. Yeah. I'm not saying that's fact, but when we take the full title deed to the Home Office and we go and get a passport, then they will do everything for you. You just give them the title deed, they will sort it out for you.
Okay, so Carl, this is really good, right? I'm really, really pleased about this. We could go on all night, but what I want to do is just wrap it up. So I want us to do this again, like this kind of like mastermind thing, because you know, now that like we've linked up, and there's things that Delroy's picked up now, and there's things that you've picked up from him, so we can all merge this stuff and get things moving.
Delroy.
Yeah, Carl, I'm quite happy to speak with you offline because, like I said, this stuff that, like I said, I need to get the hospital calls. I find it quite interesting how they've tried to block it. You're not the only one who've blocked, but I find it interesting how everybody's gone after the same thing, and I find it interesting across the board how the hospital have been trying to block everybody. I find it really interesting.
Totally. But Del, I just wanted to say, respect. You know your shit, man. You've been studying hard. I respect that. Wicked.
Yeah, same to you, Carl. We're on the same page. We're pretty much on the same page. I just need to find a way of keeping in touch with you because I want to speak to you.
I'll cook you two up. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Delroy's not on.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully to everybody else, because I know everybody else is doing their studying as well. But what you're saying to me, Del, about the birth notification and things like that, it's like you're the only person I've actually spoken to who's actually mentioned that to me and spoke deeply on that with me. Do you know what I mean? In a certain respect. So I know you're on your journey, man. I know you've been doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and it's because we had to go down. The only thing is, you've when we stayed in this because we fought so long to get it.
Yes.
What we should have done is gone your way and just bought the title deed. But because Amanda was obsessed, we said no, we want to get this thing. We wanted to see it because she knew that I had those other records that I'm going to show you when I get to see you at some point. And she says, no, I want to go for this thing. So I was helping her. So it's only recent we've come across. We've got finally where that side of it's been completed, and then what I want to do is go full circle to the side where you've gone in. But obviously you can help me a little bit with that because you've already purchased yours. So that's the next thing I want to do. That's the next thing I want to do.
Vice versa, like, see where you need to still get. I know you want to do it out of principle, Carl, because you're like me. You want your stuff back, so Delroy can help you to get that form.
No, that's cool.
You will get it. You will get it.
It's a blessing. Everything.
What he's doing is going to get him there. He's going to have to keep persevering like we did. He's on the right track anyway. You know what I mean? He's based on what he's doing, he's pretty much on the right track. If there's anything that
as I said, right? I mean, like, if you go on to, I mean, like, even if you type in like birth notification form, you look on Freedom of Information Act, and there's a guy called Carl of England. That's me. I done that back in 2015-16, asking Freedom of Information, what about this birth notification form? And if you go and look at that Freedom of Information, I got partly there, but they wasn't giving up. That's the thing about it. That's why I had to step off it.
Yeah, and like I said, when we got out, when Amanda managed to get hers, like I said, it must have been that day when she went in and they do it, and whatever reason, I think there's sometimes it's something bigger at work on a spiritual level, because when you keep talking about your body and your temper and your spirit, because I go off work quite often, I can see that you've evolved a lot more like I have, and sometimes things happen for a reason where that day when she went in, they hadn't taken it out, and she, well, you know the rest, don't you? So you know what I mean. But the fact is, I've got the forms that the nurses would fill in. I've actually got those forms because the midwife gave me them. So I'm fortunate I do have them, which I'm willing to. I want you to see them.
That's the manual. That's the form. You know the form I showed you. That was kind of like, because there is forms you can fill out, but I'm not sure with that. I went straight to the head guy of the PALS office, and I mean, like, when I first went in there and I spoke to the first woman, her mouth dropped. Her mouth dropped open because she couldn't believe that somebody was coming in and asking for that document. And she gave me a run around the whole hospital.
That's what happened with us.
Crazy shit, man.
That's what I mean. That's what we went with. All the way around, Carl. Sorry, Errol.
So what I want to do, is I kind of want to wrap it up because we've got, like, this is kind of like meet and greet call. I want to do a few more of these mastermind calls so we can all. But Delroy's not on WhatsApp, So
no, but can you get me Carl's number so I can speak to him over the phone?
I'll hook you up anyway. So what I'll do when I come off this call, I'll call you, Delroy, and sort it out. But I want all the people that are on here, because they all had questions. If they could just put in the chat anything they want to ask, and then I can just relay them out, and then we'll just close it up. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. So I just wait a couple of minutes for them to send in their.
Well, if anybody wants to unmute themselves and talk, by all means.
Well, no, because I just want to do it this way because it's a lot easier, because it's like you guys are the ones with the knowledge, so you get background noise and all that. This has been like, it's run quite smoothly this way. Yeah. So and I've had questions from Caroline, Chris, Caroline, James. So there's no more questions at the moment. So all of you that have got questions and that, just get on the chat and then just tell me what you want to ask. Yeah,
if they want to ask anything, they can. I don't have an issue. Like I say, what we've done works in a sense of We don't have to do no contracts with anybody we don't want to. It's kept them at bay while we was doing this birth notification stuff because we had to. Because while this was ongoing, we still had to deal with these muppets. And so it's like, well, if we don't want to deal with you, this is how we stop them from contracting with us. We UPU'd them, like I showed you what to do.
Yeah, because I sent Caroline the template. So I designed the template based on what I learned from you and what I learned from BB. And that's what I was saying, because that's why I wanted to put everyone together, because you know what happened was that literally, well, between you and BB, I had a bailiff and he just turned around and turned tail and just run. I'm talking, I'm not even working, can't get him nowhere, nothing. Just see what I'm saying? And they were scared. They were shit scared, mate. And I thought to myself, and it's really weird, because when you take your power back, it's brilliant. You know?
Yeah. That's fair enough. I think everybody wants to do that once they realise what's going on. I think the biggest battle is the battle of consciousness itself. Once you realise who you are, that's the biggest battle won in this pseudo world. And you've got people who talk about George Floyd and all this Black Lives Matter and all this nonsense going on. It's all this nonsense, and you just got to get to a point where you've got to get
past that consciousness bit, because, like I said, I mean, I don't say I was fearful. I've never been fearful, but I've been pretty angry. And as they say, don't be like, fear leads to anger, whatever, you know. But anyway, I suppose I was never fearful, because I just thought they're full of shit straight away. So I was always trying to fight. But once I actually became aware, I just realised that they're my servants. So, like, if somebody tries to pull any S on me, like I say, I can just batter them down with the UPU, right? And that works. And then you realise how small they really are. Because I've got one from Mike to everyone to Carl. Once we've got the title deed, did we use that for all applications? I think the answer to that is yes. Do or not did. Carl? That's a yes, isn't it?
The thing about it, as I said, I mean, like, once you get the full title deed, then basically that's expressed to the world. So all people will know that you are now the company. So anything you want to do, I mean, like, if it's applications, for example, to go and get house or whatever like that, that's all going to come under the mortgage stuff. So, but once you open a bank account, that's when everything falls into place. Because you go and open up, a business account, which is a private account, which is now called a Premier account. It's not even called a business; it's just a private account. They class it as a Premier account now. So yeah, application, the title deed acts as everything. I mean, I have to be honest with everybody as well, as I always am. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I haven't done it. Remember, I done this back in 2015, and I had nobody to talk to for the last 5 years. It's only March this year, people have started coming forward and talking to me about this stuff. Now I'm in the conversation with like-minded people. It's like, okay, now I can see what's going on, and I can see what the collapses are in that certain sense. So what I can say basically is, if you hold the full title deed, then anywhere you go and they want you to ask you for identification, if you go and get a passport, like Dale was saying, and you get the A or the D, they would recognize that.
That's correct, because it's in their system. That's right, Carl. Yeah, keep going, Carl. That's right.
I mean, like, Dale, did you want to add anything else onto that question? What Mike did ask there about the
finish the point you're making. I'm just agreeing with you. That's correct, because it's all about status. It's all about status. If your status is wrong, it's all about status. It's what I realized. Once your status is correct and you've got control of everything that you need to get control over, they can't control you. You control it. This whole system is built on control consent, and illusions. And that's what they need. They need consent for everything. Yeah. So once you've got position, that position, that's why we went down same route as Kyle in terms of getting the birth notification, because we realized once you've got control of the things you need to get control of, and they don't have it, all of a sudden they become irrelevant. You have dominion over yourself, which is what you have, because you're consciously aware of who you are. You've got dominion over yourself. That's it. Nobody can force anything on you. They can't. And this whole thing collapses down. That's what you're seeing, Carl. I agree. I see it like Carl's seeing it.
Because everything falls under contracts, and contract is in maritime and admiralty law. You're not in admiralty law and
okay, right. So we just touch up on this point as well here. Another question from Chris. What he wants to know is, can you explain, Carl, can you explain the black card, i.e. not paying back what you spend, etc.
Well, the thing about it, what it is, I mean, like from my research and stuff, and just understanding what's going on, like Daryl and everybody else, basically. Once you get your black card, basically, they're just saying, look, here's a card to your natural resources. Done.
Yeah, right.
That's what I found out with the Monsignors. Go on.
Right, I need to just interject here. See, this is why I need Bibi back on this, because she deals with the Moors. What the Moors have done, they've just gone out, right, and just gone and bought a Mercedes and didn't pay for it.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying, Errol. I mean, like, the thing about it, once you get the black card, basically, once you get the title deed, you can go anywhere, buy anything, and that comes off your credit, out of your natural resources.
Yeah.
This is what I told you, Errol, when I found out about the Jesuits. The Monsignors know how to run their estates. I told you this, Errol. The Monsignors, they know. They signed I found this like 2012, mate. In 2011, the Monsignors, who are Jesuit alumni trained, they get the black cards, the nomenclature. They go around the globe and they run.
But listen, Delroy, 1 second. I've got a question for you, yeah? This from Caroline. It says, to Del, what's happened to Troy? Rumour has it he has his excessively account and has gone into hiding or undercover. Is it true?
No, he's working on similar stuff to what we're but he's in a position where they can't force contract on him. That's what we like at the moment. I was speaking to him not long ago. Me and him are still in very good contact. We're in a position now whereby we've got a point where if we don't want to contract with somebody, we don't have to.
Yes.
The only thing I need to do is get control of the other thing that Carl's on about. That's it. We're in a position whereby if we don't want to deal with somebody, we don't have to. That's why I was using trust, because it stops them from interfacing with us and we don't want them to interface with us. So we can have the peace of mind as living, breathing beings to do what we want to do as opposed to, and be creative as opposed to what they want us to do. That's what's important. That's what Troy understands like I understand. So the last thing I need to do, this is why I want to speak to Carl shortly, is do that last thing he's done and get the title deed. That's it. That's all I need to do. That's it. That's the last bit.
Yeah, okay.
That's the last bit.
Right, so, anybody else? We're going to just talk for a couple of more minutes.
Sorry, can I just?
No questions.
Can I just elaborate a bit more on what I was saying? Yeah. What Chris was saying about that black card. Yeah. So basically, what it is that how you have the natural resources. Now, they have to convert your natural resource into fiat currency.
That's correct.
That's the conversion. Because you're not going to take a lump of gold and give it to somebody. So they're going to say, all right, you've got all the resources in your account. Here's a black card. You just spend what you want to spend, basically. And they'll take it out your So if you spend $1 million, they might take £50 of gold, what equates to that, convert it into the million or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody has natural resources. We're all here as a spirit, having a human experience. And going back to what Del said earlier on, that's why they call it the soul and not the spirit, because it's the sole of the foot. They take a print of the sole of the foot. That's your soul.
They prick it as well. They prick it. It's like the Jesuits. They prick it to get the blood as well. So they're trying to say they own your soul because that's the Roman Curia, the Pope, and everything.
Yeah, it's baptismal certificates. If you want to know the proper term for it, you need to look into what's called. It's convocation. Okay, it's a paper ball by Pope Paul III. Okay, right. If somebody gives me an email, I'll send them. I've got the document. I'll send it to you, and that's where they're doing it from. It's under what's as well. You need to look into, and I assume Carl knows this, into what's called Unum Sanctum by Pope Boniface, where the Pope created the world's trust. Unum Sanctum, Aeterni Regis, Romanus Pontifex, and you need to look at the Tree of Rome 1213 because the Laudio titles. Yeah.
Do you know, Del, Santos Bonacci, innit?
Yeah.
He breaks it down really well. He's one of my favorites in breaking that shit down. I've got the videos. I've actually put the videos in the group on I'll put the videos in the group on WhatsApp and stuff. But yeah, Santos breaks it down. What Del's saying is perfectly correct with the 3 papal balls. That's why you see the Pope with the 3 tiara, because that's the 3 papal balls. What he wears.
That's right.
That's the 3 tiara.
Totally. And it also represents because it's got the fish out. It's the age of Pisces, the Vesica Pisces, but also that because the Jew and I did a talk on it, and I'll tell you something, you'll find this interesting, Carl. I did a talk, it's on Facebook, it's got 24,000 views at the moment, talking about the advent of Aquarius and why they've got the 5G coming out, because they're trying to stop people from waking up. Yeah, I did a sick talk on it. If I'll try and post it in the chat in a second, but they know what's coming, because we're all due to wake up anyway, and this is why they're trying to do the Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and all this nonsense, because they want everybody to descend into this transhumanism agenda. Yes. Because what they're trying to do shortly. This is what and you need to look into this, Carl. You should know this, under what's called the SDRs, special drawing rights. They're going to crash these currencies. Yes. And going to put the new currencies under SDRs and going to back that by gold, because the reason why they're going to do that is because of what happened in the Second World War with the Treaty of Versailles bonds. You'll know about this as well as I do with Jose Rizal, who's the superior Jesuit general. They've planning the new system that's coming in place. We're going to have a point where this old system's been pulled down to pieces. This is what this COVID Divock 91 is all about. And they're going to put this new system under New World Order. It's happening this month. The Pope has got at the Peace Palace at The Hague. The Pope is getting all the religions to come under one roof. He's getting them to sign all these documents this month. He's got another meeting in September. The whole thing is happening right now. We're in a massive sense of change on the cosmos. Keep going. I'm like you. I know exactly what's going on.
Totally agree with you, because that's why now we all understand why they killed Gaddafi. Exactly. Because Gaddafi was coming out with it too early. He wanted the gold standard, but yeah, the golden dinar.
That's right.
Now,
yeah, exactly.
Because as they were saying, Caroline, you know this because I was talking to you about kind of like astrology. Everything's done under alchemy, because it's astrology, it's chemistry, it's biology, everything like that. So we're now into the age of Aquarius. What?
No, we're coming. We're nearly there. 21st December this year.
Because also as well with Dale, I just want to add what Dale was saying there, because when you see the Pope, he's got his staff on top of his staff, just on top of the staff before the cross. It's a little pine cone that represents the pineal gland.
That's right. Kaya consciousness. Keep going.
So again, also as well, what he was saying about 5G, he wants to keep us down mentally. They want to keep us down mentally because it's really 5D, what they're talking about, which is fifth dimension, because we're all ascending.
That's correct. That's right, and that's happening on the 21st December this year. That's what's coming. That's what I was talking about. And I talked about the alignment that's coming on the 21st. Explain the planets, where Venus is. I did a sick talk. You was there when I did it. Yeah. No, you was there when I did it.
Recorded, yeah. And I just wanted to add something as well. The reason I'm putting a time limit to this is because we could be here for like all night, and we're not really actually going to get anywhere, because what this whole mastermind thing is practical. When you have a board meeting or whatever, you have like these practical things you're going to do X, Y, Z. So now what's come out of this is, right, you've now got in touch with Delroy. Delroy's got in touch with you, and
you're breaking up, Errol. You're breaking up.
All your things, do that. The people, they need to learn. There's the people that need to learn stuff. Yeah, there's untold stuff. Delroy's got paste up online. If they need, I'll try and get. Send me the links. I'll send you, and you just learn that way. These mastermind groups I'm doing are practical. It's like, look, what you've come up with, the corporation, right? You all do the corporation, right? You do that. You all try to get your BNFO ones. You just what I'm saying. All these practical things that we're doing. Ourselves. Go on, Carl.
I just want to say something. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, Errol. But yeah, the BNF one, as Dale was saying, the BNF one's quite hard to get. So I just, as I said, I just went and bought the title.
No, you want to get it, look, the same as they're like you're like me. You want to get it because it's yours.
Yeah. We can get back to that in a minute.
Carl, the reason I'm saying that is because, like, when you're married, right? So, what would my wife, right, would she go and get incorporated as her married name or her birth certificate name?
Maiden name is always the first one. Maiden. It's got to be the original, because that's the one. It's always the first one. The first one is where they take everything from. They can have all Mars and Rage. It's Mars and Rage, and most of it it's to claim that it says cheating. It's to break the line of descendants. That's why they filed them in the Department of Office in the US. It says cheating. It's all to do with your estate. The Pope claims the eggs to the womb with a marriage certificate. That's why it's Mars and Rage. Again, it's all cosmological.
Yes. Yeah. Now the thing about it, what you're saying there as well is like, just go back to what you were saying. I totally agree with Dale.
So she would incorporate. She'd incorporate on her maiden name. Yeah.
No, her birth certificate. That's it.
Birth certificate. Yeah. Okay.
Because the thing about it, her married name isn't on her birth certificate. She could get divorced. Exactly. I don't mean that bad.
Yeah.
But if she got divorced, she would revert back to her birth certificate name. That's similar the same thing as depot. That's why when you marry a woman, the man is always the head when you're in marriage, because you carry that surname, and that's the debtor's surname. So if she does anything wrong with that surname, the man gets it.
Okay, all right. So I think that's it. No, there's no more questions. So I'm just going to close it up. I'm going to get you two to link up, and then what I'll do is I'll try and do another one of these mastermind calls with you, me, and Bibi, because Bibi, there's a few things what you were talking about there that Bibi's got, how they can access the funds as well. Yeah. Right. They're doing it, and everybody's researching. So
can I just say something? Can I just say something on that, Errol? The thing about it, they can access the funds, yes, because you're doing everything via the birth certificate. Once you take the full title deed back, they can't access nothing because you close that.
Okay.
You see, that's what I was trying to say earlier on in the conversation when I said that everything what's doing down the UPU and the UCC and everything else, it's irrelevant. Not disrespectfully, don't get me wrong. It's not, I'm not being disrespectful when I say that, because I've been through all of that already. But what I'm saying to you is that because everything's done off the birth certificate or whatever, once you buy the full title deed, you collapse it, you close it. Remember, it's called a sealed instrument. Yeah. No one can look in there apart from you. And that's why they want you to open a business account with one business manager. So that one, you're giving consent for the bank to look in your instrument. It's a sealed instrument. You see?
Okay. So, all right. Yeah. So that's it. So thanks, Delroy. I really appreciate it.
Cheers. Cheers, Errol.
I want to say thank you to Delroy, Mike, James, Lee, Chris, Caroline. Everybody who's in the group who's there listening. Sorry you guys didn't actually get to say what you wanted to say, but hopefully it cleared up everything and it put images in people's mind, and it got people thinking, do you know, because that's what we want to do. The thing about it, what I would like to say as well about that George Floyd thing as well, the way we can do this is a peaceful protest, what we're doing. I'm just brought myself back. That's protesting peacefully.
Yeah, it's clever because the thing is, like, look, put it this way, right? I've had a lot of hassle. I don't even want to go into Delroy notes and yeah. But one thing, right? There's two ways I could have gone about it. I could have gone round, just got an Uzi and mowed all the people down. Yeah, that's a stupid way, right?
This is it.
But what I've done is I've used my brain that my creator's given me to beat them, hands down. Simple as that. They couldn't do anything to me, anything like that. So thanks to you guys yet again. And just to wrap up with Chris, he's saying to everyone, thanks, very informative, thanks all.
Yeah. Just a quick
thanks to everybody. Thank you, everybody. Mike, Chris, Mike, Chris, Caroline, James, Lee. Just thanks everybody just tuning in. And but it's onwards and upwards. Like I said, regardless, they've already lost. I call them the dead man or the drowned. They just don't realise it. You know what I mean? It's a case of what we need to do, what we need to do, and just work together on that unit principle. And that's it. Simple. Keep it nice and simple.
Yeah. I just want to add one thing as well. Sorry, before we close up. James just messaged me and he said basically about the birth certificate. If you can't find your birth certificate, there's nothing wrong with that. You can always order a birth certificate from the registrar, like Islington Council or whatever council you was born in or whatever area. You can always order a new birth certificate. But the thing about it, you don't really need a birth certificate because you already know your name. You don't have to have a birth certificate to buy your name back. As long as you know your name, which you do, and it's the same name on the birth certificate, you don't have to actually have a birth certificate to buy your title deed back. You just go into Companies House and you just type in the name.
Carl, sorry to interject anyway. Chris, is it Chris that's saying about the birth certificate? Yeah?
James.
So James, all James needs to do, literally go online, you get it in 10 minutes. They ask £10 or something like that. You just go on there and you just order a copy and they'll send you a copy within 4 days.
This is it.
Yeah. Because it's all about making money, because it's your thing and then they're charging you money for it.
The thing about it, each time you order a birth certificate, you're not ordering a birth certificate, you're ordering a share document. That's a share document.
Yeah. And the numbers are different because the copy number is different from the original one.
But it's a share document. Those two shares will be the same.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Right. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you.